is 2026. We are the start of February. If you find other people, they are having amazing progress, they are achieving their goals, they are making bold moves, their lives are changing, and you feel stuck. You are overweight, maybe you are highly anxious, you are depressed, your life isn't what it seemed to be, you are not happy. How do you make that change? Deep inside of you, you want to change, but you are asking other people the wrong question. You are seeking motivation from other people. Let me tell you, in this video, we are going to address how and what can you do to dramatically change your life in 2026. My name is Naila Musa. I'm a high-performance executive coach for leaders, CEOs, startup founders, group CEOs, and C-level executives. I coach and mentor them in my high-performance coaching program. This is where I accelerate performance and give them the results that they could only dream about. Some of my clients started from vice president. Today they are on track to be the group CEO. Some of my clients were vice president. Now they are CEOs of not one startups, but a second startups. So if that is what you are looking for, you are looking for dramatic changes, you want to touch your dream, this video is for you. So where do you start if you want to dramatically change your life this year? The first thing is, it's going to be an internal game. It's not outside of you. Stop looking for things that are outside of you for you to change. It's gonna be inside of you. That's the first order of business. Now let's look at how you are going to audit and use your year 2025 to get data, insight into how you operate internally, your system, your belief, your identity, your thought patterns, your emotional baselines, and what are your emotions like, how are you feeling on a regular basis, what actions you've been taking, and the results you've got so far or you didn't get. This is the approach we are going to take. It's a cognitive behavioral approach. Let's look at that. Let's audit 2025, your year. Take a pen and paper, pencil, pen on paper. You're going to write down your year 2025. What were the goals you were hoping to achieve? And what results did you achieve? I want you to be really honest with yourself. Look at the gap. Did you achieve all the things you wanted? Or did you even write those down, first of all? Second, I want you to look at how were you feeling in 2025? When you look at that year, last year, what were the highlights? What were the peaks? What were the highest feeling that you had, the biggest point of happiness? And did you have any of those? Your highest achievement, the places you dream you wanted to go and you were, things you wanted to have for yourself and you got, goals, milestone you've set for yourself and you achieved. What were the highest point of your year 2025? Write those down. Your biggest celebration, biggest achievement, places you were extremely happy about, things you were very proud about. Even if there are one or two, write those down. Then you're going to do the same, but for the lowest point of 2025. What were they for you? These are maybe your perceived breakdowns, setbacks, failures, things that you hated that happened, project that tanks, goal that weren't achieved, things you wanted to do but couldn't achieve, places you wanted to go but couldn't go. Maybe there were holidays you wanted to have but you couldn't have. All those things that you list as the lowest point of 2025. Maybe there were illness, maybe there were accidents, heartbreak, breakups, all the things, relationship troubles, everything that happened in 2025 that made your year the lowest point of your year, that dragged your energy, your emotions down, that made it feel like it was the worst year of your life. Write those down. And now I want you to, once you've got those 2 points, the peaks, these are the highest point, and the valleys, I want you to reverse engineer. What were when you have the emotions, you want to ask, what were the thoughts that accompanied those emotions? How did you think? And I want you to look at what were the behaviors, what habits, behaviors, patterns did you do that made you stuck in those loops of the lowest point of your life and the highest point? What made you achieve your biggest achievement? What bold moves did you make? What support did you seek? How did you succeed? You want to list those. The wins, what were the thoughts, what were those emotions, and what were the accompanying behaviors, actions that you took on a regular basis. Maybe you've lost weight, maybe you're healthier. What are the routines that you stuck to that made you achieve success? Same thing. If you I'm taking example of weight as well. Again here, if you still didn't actually lose the weight, what pattern of behaviors? Did you shame and guilt yourself? Did you eat fast food or junk food and then you shame yourself, you felt guilty, you felt bad about yourself, you punish yourself further and you binge eat? What were those patterns? You want to write those down. These will be the map of 2025. And now the thing is, I want you to take those highest and lowest point of your 2025, and you want for to go inside of you, to ask yourself, why were you sad? What made you let yourself down? I want you to sit in the discomfort. I do not want you to blame external things for things that happen to you internally. You've got to sit with the discomfort. Where is that coming from? Why are you repeating those patterns? It's only when you sit in the discomfort of those feelings that you are going to be very honest with yourself. Why were you so reactive? Why were you so triggered by what other people think about you? Why were other people's opinion mattered so much to you that you kept thinking about what they said, or you were afraid of what other people said? Why is that? I want you to ask yourself those questions. And the same thing for the highest achievement, biggest highlight of your 2025. What led to those? Did you make those other people's opinions, what other people think about you, social media, or comparing to other people's life? Did you make that noise in the background and you focus on what you wanted? Could it be that's why you had your biggest win? And now you want to, the feelings, the emotions that you felt uncomfortable, you were sad about, you were depressed about, you were anxious about, I want you to dig deep, take responsibility for them. It's only then that you can change in the discomfort. It's not by discarding them, by blaming other people, by putting the blame on external factors, by wanting it to be removed. The emotions, the lowest point of your life, the depression, the anxiety, they are there telling you that things need to change. and you have to identify what those things are so that 2026 can be different. That's the change process. It's only in discomfort that you can make dramatic and lasting change. Because let me tell you, there are so many people that lose weight and then something happens, they put on weight 15 kgs back on, and they blame that. You still hear them blame those external factors on why they've put on the weight, till they are not able to identify the root cause, take responsibility and make that change. They will never sustain change. And I want you to be able to sustain change, to create change and stick with it, and be able to keep that change for a lifetime. If you need support on that, you can reach out on the link below so that I can support you to map the strategy of your life. Design the life that you want using strategy that we use for organization. We use the same strategy to approach changing your life and creating, architecturing a great life for yourself. We want to start to map that out, create it, design it, look at all the things that you want, create your life portfolio. This is what I'm going to do with you in my coaching. So if you need that, you want that change in 2026, the link will be below.